Now, before I talk about my dish, I want to leave you in suspense wondering how in the hell I came up with a chicken parm waffle idea. And I'm going to talk about a couple of organizations that I think need a lot of love and support right now. Part of the reason I discovered this dish in the first place was because I was watching Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives Takeout Edition, where he is supporting local businesses and raising money for the Restaurant Employee Relief Foundation. He has raised over $20 million as of 3 weeks before I made this video, which is unbelievably outstanding. But as you can tell by how populated America is, how many small businesses there are in the country, that support can only go a long way. So I will put a link in the description below for the Restaurant Employee Relief Foundation, as well as the Canadian website afrobiz.ca, which is Canada's largest directory of Black-owned businesses. They sponsor over 1,500 businesses ranging from health and fitness, real estate, art galleries, legal services, and of course restaurants. And the best part is you can, if you are a Black entrepreneur, you can log on and submit your business in order to be sponsored. And anyone who's looking to support Black business owners can search for those that are in their general area. So be sure to check out both links to both organizations below. They really need your love and support, especially with what's going on right now. So, anyways, back onto the dish. As I said before, I was watching Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives Takeout Edition on Saturday nights, which they air brand new, where Guy Fieri and his sons Hunter and Ryder create dishes from ingredients that were mailed to them by businesses that had been featured on the show before. Some of Fieri's favorite restaurants to check out and endorse. And there was one restaurant called Funkin' Waffles. That's right, that's what it's called, which is, if you're from Kitchener where I live, it's basically like Harmony Lunch. There's lots of good food, there's lots of good music performed. In fact, they performed a couple songs during the end credits of the show, which was really fun to watch. And when I thought chicken and waffles, I thought that would be something really exciting. And with this week's challenge, the ingredients were cheese, soy sauce, and coffee. And once the very first recipe that Fieri and his sons did, which was a chicken parm waffle mixed together with eggs, milk. They used olive oil. I didn't in this because the recipe I had didn't call for it. Among many other things. He wasn't supposed to add pancake batter or waffle batter to it, but Fieri did for whatever reason anyways. And my dad and I were our minds were blown by the fact that they made something that could count as a chicken parm, something that could count as a lasagna, and just generic chicken and waffles in and of itself. And my dad looked at me and he goes, hey, you know we're doing that, right? And I'm just going, hell yeah, half of these I can actually do in this week's challenge. And then we decided we were going to go for it. We were going to incorporate the cheese with the pasta mixture as expected. And for the soy sauce, we were originally going to marinate it in some chicken, but at the last minute, my dad actually came up with a really brilliant idea. Instead of that, we were going to do, as I just showed you in the video, braise the bacon in soy sauce, oil, and a clove of pureed garlic. And what was great about it is I did a test run of the chicken parm waffle, and I made the mistake of adding seasoning to the mixture, even though I had already seasoned my pasta with salt water. And because of that reason, even though it technically was good, I couldn't finish it because I just overwhelmed myself with all the seasoning. The great thing about incorporating soy sauce into the bacon, and through cooking the marinara sauce in that pot where there was that taste of soy sauce, it really made the sauce stand out. It tasted a lot more flavorful. You did not need salt and pepper incorporated at all. In fact, you could have said there was some in it, and you could fool just about anybody. And it was amazing because I don't even like soy sauce, but I tasted the bacon mixed in with the soy, and it did have that bitter sweetness to it that made it just so irresistible. And as opposed to it just being chicken parm, chicken waffle, lasagna, we also made a carbonara waffle out of it too, which is, it just goes to show how much this recipe, this dish, has so many possibilities, is so universal to so many people. I'm surprised that I had never even heard of this type of waffle up until now. And I'm not really a complete stranger to mixing in different stuff as a waffle because my dad was very open to this idea and was so willing to do it because he likes to make waffles out of turkey seasoning for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so many people looked at him and went, a stuffing waffle? Really? And then they tasted it and it's just like, holy shit, that is really good. So I had kind of forgotten that he had done that because I hadn't seen him make one in a really long time. He didn't even do it last Christmas, but it made me a lot more comfortable with going really out of the box with this dish. But the best quality about it is it still tastes like spaghetti. It still tastes like chicken parm. The only real difference is it's just shaped like a waffle. It does not taste like pasta and waffle batter mixed together. It just tastes like pasta. It's just shaped in a much different way, but in such a fun, creative, and as I said before, just a universal way in and of itself. And for those who are wondering why I randomly put in a thing of iced coffee as a drink, there are two reasons for that. The one main reason was coffee was the other ingredient I'd have to use, so I went for a much more simplistic route, but at the same time, it's summer now. It's fucking hot out. You could use an ice cap to cool yourself down, especially after eating such a fantastic hot meal, such as the chicken parm waffle. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Feel free to check the comments section for a couple things. One of them is the official recipe for what I use to make these chicken parm waffles. And the other is for a couple links of podcasts that I'm doing with my friend Josh Gofton. We recorded some episodes about every single Star Wars movie in chronological order and every Quentin Tarantino movie. I'm really excited for people to check out that podcast. That was the most fun making these in a really long time. Be sure to check the links in my descriptions for the organizations that I mentioned at the beginning. Be sure to stay tuned for more future content. I have a few more surprises in regards to different types of movies that I want to talk about. And be sure to like and subscribe. Take care.